first pull, you want to make sure you're using a defensive. Because right off the back, you're going to take a lot of damage. You want to use defensive right off the back. And also, you want both these lynxes, but that other lynx is walking away. There we go. Careful with the frontal. I actually didn't know these guys had a frontal.
Captain Dale Cry is protecting something.
Watch those traps. You do not want to stand in the traps.
His tactics. Draw them away and defeat them.
So I'm thinking we pull in the center by the fountain next. So the fountain actually gives you a party buff. But the party buff, see how cool is that? The healer's got the big old sign on himself pointing at him while he's fighting right now. But the party buff can only be activated by a priest, a paladin, or I don't remember what the aura is. But it's one of the race. It's this. Now it is very easy to overpull on this dungeon. Be very careful not to overpull, but also careful not to underpull. We are pulling here in the center so that the priest can get us our buff. Otherwise, I would recommend just skipping this pull and making up percent later towards the end. Just because there's a lot of lean, there's a lot of space for you to pull extra or accidentally pull stuff. Priest buff. I think the priest actually already got us our buff. Oh yeah, 30 minutes right here. So our stamina is increased by 5%. Careful, shield slam. Shield slam is a knockback. The reason I did not get knocked back during the shield slam just now was because I used Death's Advance. Ideally, you want to make sure that your back is against something so that you do not get launched by shield slam. Your back can be against the stairs, against a wall, against the inner wall if that's where the boss is. Just make sure that your back is generally against something so that shield slam does not throw you too far away. If you do choose to stand here at the bottom of the stairs during shield slam, make sure you take a step forward after he smashes you back, because he's going to smash you back onto the lip that you're using to block yourself. And you want to make sure that you are back clear of that lip before the next shield slam. We're going to go upstairs next to the next pull.
Chainmail, your training grounds fall to the intruders.
And we actually don't need everything here. We're going to pull this pat here. Ah, dang. But you don't need the healers from off to the side over here.
My power is transcendent.
Now this is a very big pull, but we're going to be okay because we have good interrupts. So as long as we are interrupting the heal, we will be fine. You can also use CCs on the either the heal or the shoot. The shoot cast, he picks these two shooters, pick random targets and shoot that target for a lot of damage. If you have any extra CCs, you want to use them on the shoot guys so that they don't shoot at your party. Now this pull is way too big. I would never recommend this pull. This pull is actually surprising that our guys are still alive. I would recommend pulling half of this and then the other half of this. chest. Okay, I've returned again. Careful the brutal smash. We are going to go up the hill and pull the guy at the top of the hill after this. So as soon as this is done.
I have many lucky do's, you like.
Be careful with the fire guy.
A gift.
Watch where the heat waves land. Don't stand in any of the heat waves. More heat waves. Even more heat waves. Alright, number 1 rule as a tank. Never turn your back to the boss or the mobs. Remember that when you turn your back to the mobs, you cannot parry. Lots of heat waves. Okay, so I should have cleared the floor down here first. If we had cleared the floor down here, our damage wouldn't have had to worry about staying so tight. They would have been able to spread out more, and we would have been okay to avoid all of the fire. So good note, spreading out and pulling these things down here is a necessity. Our healer just got back. Now remember, this is still week 1. It's totally okay if you don't make time on a key. You're still going to get gear, and you're still going to get vault slots.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
So now you can only kill 2 of the generals. You can't kill the 3 generals. Because by the time you kill 2 of the generals, the main guy here at the end, he actually realizes what you're doing, and he's like, he tells them to stay by his side or something. He tells them to basically not go to us because he sees what we're doing. So the boss dude, he figures out our plan.
You won't peel off anymore. You hold. I see.
Yeah, I see their gambit. They seek to ambush me without my lieutenants. I think we can skip through here. Nope, can't skip through there. I think we can skip through there. I think we just need to be tighter together. Yeah, we were close, but no, you can't skip through there. We've pulled a lot of extra this pull, so we're gonna have to skip a lot somewhere. Probably gonna be in the church at this point.
It is too far away.
So we'll be fine.
Power is transcendent. Share in it.
Alright, pulling the boss. Make sure you're interrupting that fireball cast. That fireball cast needs to be interrupted every time. What fireball is going to do is it's going to pick a random target and shoot a fireball at that target. okay. Battle Cry is going to be your priority interrupt here, though. So Battle Cry is going to increase the damage done by 50% for 30 seconds. Unlucky. Watch that Hurl Spear. Thank you. Hurl Spear is a frontal. It shows as a line. You want to be careful with that line and not stand in it.
Feel Ember's wrath. Finish them off, Lieutenant. My spear aims true.
Probably should have organized our interrupts better on this Battle Cry.
My fang and claw. Finish them off, Lieutenant. My spear aims true.
So be careful of the Pierce Armor cast.
My
What the
power
Pierce Armor cast is going to do is it's going to pick the person with aggro, or it's either going to pick the person with aggro or like a pet if you have a pet on it. And it's going to apply this dot called Pierce Armor. This Pierce Armor dot is going to make you bleed for over 900,000 physical damage every 1 second.
Finish them off, Lieutenant.
The Pierce Armor stack effect does stack.
Feel Ember's wrath.
Well, that's harsh. Brutally mauled under fireballs. Actually, that's brutal.
My spear.
Alright, we are going upstairs.
Glory.
We're going to pull these ads in the doorway, and after pulling these ads in the doorway, these ads behind the ones in the doorway usually get pulled. So I would suggest just pulling them with the ads in the doorway. Not all of the ads behind them, just the ads from the center of the room. Stay out of Consecrate. Remember, Consecrate's going to do a lot of damage to you. Sacred Toll. I don't actually know what that does. Take a look in the book. Priory of the Sacred Flame.
of power.
Sacred Toll. So Sacred Toll inflicts 600,000 holy damage to all players within 50 yards. So Sacred Toll is a burst of damage, so you want to make sure you're using a defensive or you are not low on health. You can use a health pot if you are low on health. Alright, we are pulling ads in on the left and right side. As soon as these guys die, there are going to be a second batch of ads that come down the stairs. Careful with that second batch of ads. Remember that you have to kill the sides individually for the individual ads to come down. So if you pull them both together and you somehow manage to kill just the ads off of one side, the ads could potentially run down on one side and not the other side. So you want to be careful and make sure that you're killing this ad pack relatively evenly, or that you're clear out of the way for when the ads come downstairs.
Her usefulness to the Empire has passed. Soon, the true faithful will arise, and the Arathi will be mighty.
Alright, pulling all the ads together.
It is
Greater healing. Make sure you're interrupting the greater healing cast.
My power is transcendent. Share in it.
Careful those orbs. Make sure you're using CCs or interrupts on those orbs.
I'm out of range.
And then we are going to pull the boss as soon as he jumps down.
They serve their purpose. Baron, demonstrate your worth.
Those who oppose the Emperor will fall at our feet.
Alright, pull the boss to the center of the room.
By my holy hammer!
Careful with those hammers.
Another victory.
Okay, during this boss fight, you have to be very careful with this explosion mechanic. So each player can only hit that explosion once. After hitting the explosion once, you're going to get this sacrifice flame dot that inflicts 1.2 million holy damage every 1 second. You're going to need 3 players the first time, 3 players the second time, and I believe 4 players the third time. Watch the number of orbs hanging off the side of the circle and make sure you have the proper number of players ready to run into that circle when the circle appears.
Shielded by fire, I am healed. Glory guides my hammer.
Be careful with the hammers, don't accidentally stand in the hammers. I think the right answer is probably to move the boss on the other side of the room so that our melee can stand clear of the hammers. Kind of feels like I'm feeding myself and the melee to the hammers every time they show up. So.
By my shield.
Okay, careful with the shield. Okay, so this time there are 5 orbs, which means every player has to step in the orb pit once. After every player has stepped in the orbs once, every player is going to have a dot of the sacrificial flame, and you want to make sure you're using defensives during that.
Of power.
During that, like, phase when everybody's taking so much damage.
By my shield. The flame empowers me. Flame cleanse you. Glory guides my hammer.
Nice.
My first defeat.
Prey has warped the Priory from a place of contemplation to an uprising. Why? She has always preached of the strength of the Emperor's will, but to turn against us is madness.
I need to get closer. It is too far away.
Right, greater heal. Make sure you're interrupting the greater heal every time. Consecrate. Don't stand in the circle from consecrate.
My power is transcendent. Share in it.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. It is too far away. I need to get closer. Beledar is the crucible. It burns away weakness. Its blinding light light reveals the strength we Arathi lack. With an army of the risen close, the Arathi will
Be careful of the
defeat
circles. The circles are very hard to see in the church because it's gold on, like, a lot of gold. But you want to be careful and make sure that you're not standing inside of the circles.
Heresy. They defile the sacred flame by animating the dead.
Greater heal. We do not
They
want the
are
heal
no
cast to go
better
up.
than the Kobis.
Don't forget that if your interrupt is not on cooldown, use it. Greater heal only casts every 15 seconds-ish. 15 to 16 seconds. So you want to make sure that you're using your interrupt, because if you're saving it for a long time, you may be saving it through 3 or 4 rotations of other abilities that maybe killed somebody or did a lot of damage to your party. So I would recommend using your interrupt, not saving it for last second. I think that Pat. I think we have to pull that Pat. Ah, shoot. We pulled half the church. That's okay. Yeah, it's alright. We needed the percent anyways. We're only at 78%. I was thinking that Pat will pull the middle guys if we pull it there. Then I thought we could pull it maybe if I death gripped it, but I think maybe my AoE hit the ads on the left side.
I need to get closer.
But that's alright. We got this. %79%. So we are currently running a 6 Priory of the Sacred Flames. We have 7.5 minutes left-ish.
My power
And
is
one boss
transcendent.
and 20%.
Share in it.
Oh.
I'm out of range.
So both the Devout Priests cast Greater Heal right away. And the reason both the Devout Priests cast Greater Heal right away was actually because we had a mob who was running up on us who had a lot of health left. Greater Heal again. Make sure you're getting that interrupt.
A gift of power.
So the good news is we actually do need these guys because we need to pull one side before we go up. And also because I believe we still need percent. I think this guy's 4%.
Foolish
7,
outsiders.
8, 9, 10,
Benedar's sacred
12.
flame
Okay, he was
will
5%.
raise him back to duty.
Alright, we got this. We're well on our way to the boss after this fight. He wants us to pull this because we are short percent. Greater heal. Be careful with that greater heal cast.
A gift of power.
Okay. And as soon as these guys all die, we are going to go upstairs. Meant to say say boss.
Sacred flame will cleanse your transgression.
Okay, healer had 30% mana. So you always want to glance and make sure that your healer has mana before you pull. He is disciplined, so he should be okay. As long as we don't take a lot of extra damage, he should be fine. But you always want to make sure that blinding light, dang it, that your healer has mana before you pull. Okay. Don't look at blinding light. It blinds you. That's actually hilarious.
My power is
Inner flame. Purify. Oh, that's actually really funny. Blinding light. Look away. Remember, you just have to look away for a second during the blinding light. You only have to look away last second for blinding light. But you do have to make sure that you are looking away. Holy flame. Don't stand in the holy flame. Holy smite. Interrupt. Holy smite. Blinding light. Look away during blinding light. Going upstairs. Careful with the embrace light. Embrace light. Make sure you're interrupting. Embrace light.
my power is transcendent.
Watch the ads.
Share.
Oh, dang. I forgot to look away from blinding light again. Okay, be careful with the blinding light, because don't forget that you actually get disoriented during the blinding light, so you want to make sure that you are looking away for sure as a tank, because when you are disoriented, we're short 4%. Because when you're disoriented, you can't hold aggro. Thank you for the lurk, Asamami, and Kevin Wow. Oh, look away. 8% left on the boss. I'm making up a new rotation. Holy Smite, make sure you're interrupting. Holy Smite. Okay, and then we have to go back downstairs because we are short percent. No, because they're casters, they'll cast.
Zealots no longer steer our faith towards destruction.
I feel like the Risen Footman's not a good idea, but I think we need him for percent. Okay. So we just need 4% and we should be good. Hello, Battlemaster. And welcome back.
My power is
Yeah, I think my Abomination Limbs grabbed it.
share in it.
How are you today? Careful with the Risen Footman. %. We just need one more ad. Yeah, what that guy did. I was going to do the same thing. Doing well, thank you. So, we are currently running a 6 Priory of the Sacred Flame.
Our agreement